So, good morning, David, Dot, and John. So, following on from last Monday's story, where we spoke about my great-granddad and great-grandmother who were from Derby, actually turns out he was from Leicester. And the post office shop that we went to was my granddad's parents' post office. But this cigarette case was given to my great-granddad when he was promoted to be the postmaster in the area. Just trying to open it and keep my phone in my hand at the same time and juggling. But here we go. And on the inside of this cigarette box, there's an engraving there. Hope you can see it. But it says, to Frank Chetwin, on his promotion to Inspector of Postman at Derby from his friends at the Leicester Post Office. Now, the reason this is pertinent is last week at the lecture, Recovery and Practice, John, you posed a question around when was there a turning point in your life, and I sat down with the Mayor of Derbyshire and spoke to him about my ancestors and relationship with Derby, and how I'm at a turning point myself and how I wanted to make last Monday a turning point. And really what I want to do personally is I want to get over my kind of academic insecurity and to bring my gifts to the world that are kind of seen in a way that affect change, make the world a better place. And by using story and to create the sort of environments where these stories can happen, can create healing and all sorts of other things as well. But what I wanted to talk about is what I wanted to imagine is a box. And now you've got on the recovery bicycle a box. And you drive around and you talk about recovery. So if I was to design a box, to put on top of the recovery bike, I would paint all 6 sides with a symbol. Yep. And one of those symbols would represent an archetype. So it would be the archetype of below, Great Mother Earth. It would be the archetype of above, Father Sky. It would be the lover, the warrior, the magician, and then the sovereign. And the archetype of within, the archetype of our own unique gifts in the world would be represented by the person that's driving the bike and going around and talking about their stories and how their stories can impact people that are living in a culture of addiction and help to move them towards a culture of recovery. And I just started to think how my great-granddad, being the postmaster, and all the stories that were inside the letters that got delivered to the post offices and then distributed to the families, creating connection via pen and paper, and the responsibility of the postman in between. So, like I said, my great-granddad's role was to carry the messages in the First World War from the generals and the officers to the front line. And he lost 6 of his brothers in the First World War, and 2 of them came back. And he had the responsibility of having to look after the family and all the widows and that burden of responsibility. What I found out this weekend, staying with my mum, is that my great-granddad sent his sons. He willingly took his sons down to the office to get them all signed up. So imagine you're a father and you believe in something so much that you send your sons off to go and fight, and out of your 8 boys, only 6 come back. I wonder what it would have been like trying to live with that and to recover from that. And then I started going into epigenetics and institutional and ancestral trauma, and so I'm just talking in that area. and using social media to spread these stories. So there's going to be a little YouTube video, there's going to be a short little post to hook people in on Instagram or WhatsApp or LinkedIn or whatever. But I really just wanted to thank David and Derby University, Dot, and yourself for coming over and sparking something in me that's going to help me move forward. I even put on a jacket, so hopefully I look posh. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope this is helpful. Love to everyone out there. Bye-bye. One last thing. My great-great-grandmother, she worked in the post office, and one of her jobs was ironing the telegrams that went out to the families to tell them that they'd lost their loved one. And my mum just said, I wonder if that impacted her, because she was agoraphobic. Well, she became agoraphobic and then never left the house. Consequences. Lots of love, everyone. Bye-bye.